Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and today I want to chat with you guys a little bit about the exercises and methods that I have generally found to improve my bench press. And a lot of people noticed here that, earlier this year I got my bench up to pretty decent numbers. You guys have seen me do a 2-second pause of 365. Here's me doing 315 for 8 reps. And, doing this at 46 years old. Now, of course, it's down a little bit because I'm cutting. And I'm not power benching. I'm doing a little more flat back. But when you look at what exercises I used to build this, it was pretty consistent. And every time I've experimented with different stuff, deviated from things for me personally, my bench starts going down, all right, when I rotate other stuff in. So it's just been interesting to me which exercises improve my bench the most. And I'm not telling you that's guaranteed to give you the best physique, but, for me, it improves the bench. And again, I want to be very clear here, this is for me personally. Your leverages may be different. But what I have found is lots of pause benching, right off the top of the bat, doing almost all of your benching with a pause. For me, that has worked wonders, right? It's worked wonders, giving me the ability to get the weight started. Of course, you see there I'm struggling about 2/3 of the way through. Lockout's a little weak. But what I found builds that area up is the JM press. So really, for me, what I find helps me get the weight moving. And again, I don't want to say that upper back and mid back is not a factor, because it is. And I do have a well-developed back, but I've had that even when my bench was weaker. So the thing is, I've had points where my bench was, under 315 due to different things going on. And yet I still had a big back. So even though many coaches and experts will go on about that, I think that there's a limited usefulness to it. Meaning, I think having a really well-developed back can help you place the bar correctly. It'll give you good eccentric control so that you can get your perfect touch point. And I think it's really valuable for that. And I don't want to take away from that. I think when you're close gripping, it's just ironically where I tend to be strongest, even though I'm not doing it here in these. I do feel bigger lats help you slingshot out of the bottom of a close grip. But that's because they're acting as an external, like a lever, like moment arm to press against your triceps. And I feel that can help you get it started faster. But when we're going with a bit wider grip, trying to use more chest, the movements that help me the most personally has been incline benching, right? Like you see me doing here, incline with a pause. Bench pressing for pauses, bench pressing with long pauses. And you'll notice on a lot of my rep work, I'll even do a 2-second pause or longer on the very last rep. Why? Because again, it helps me to learn to stay tight and to build power off the chest. It helps really get the deepest fibers in the pectorals, and it's those fibers that we use to get the weight moving. Okay. And I've found that to be very useful. But the incline, absolutely. So really, I think what we need to think about is what exercises build the different parts of the bench. I personally find all three of these work because I am not built to bench. I have long arms. Benching has always been hard for me, so I tend to develop all of the weak links in the bench. So I just have to build all of them. But in general, the pause benching and maybe lat work is what really helps you get it moving off the chest, right? Big lats. Now, the bigger lats I feel matter more as the grip gets closer. But if you're a fairly close grip bencher, big lats will really help you get it moving. So again, lat work has its place there. But pause benching, doing all your work paused, will build your chest. It will build the muscle fibers of the chest that help get the weight moving, right? It'll help you be more explosive out of the bottom. Because if we can get it moving fast enough, we're usually pretty good, right? If you can get it moving fast enough, really it's just a matter of triceps to lock it out. So that pause work, it matters. And even for your really high rep stuff, pause. Build as big a chest as you can. Build your chest in those positions to be strong in those positions where the pecs are the weakest, which is the bottom. And even if you do it more flat back when you go to an arch and take some of that out, that chest will still be strong there. Okay. But I would make the point when we get over to the incline of if you're going to set up a big arch, I think the incline really shines. Okay, and the reason for that, right about where you stick in the middle. A lot of times that transition point, And that transition point, the stronger you are and the more elite you are, tends to start lower down. That's been studied. That's been found when they looked at, intermediate, then elite benchers, and then ultra elite benchers. There was a study done on this decades ago looking at like Bill Kazmaier. And what they found is that, when he was benching over 600 pounds, the bar path was very different. And stronger benchers, it tended to drift in the same direction, almost linearly with how strong they were, meaning at 300, 400, and a 600 pound bench, there was a direct pattern that carried over. And it was, you transition off the chest, it drifts towards the face sooner in the rep. All right, that's also kind of where it puts us if you're going to set up an arch. And so the incline is extremely valuable there. Because again, upper chest, the front delts, okay, those muscles will help you power through that position. So the incline bench, if you stick anywhere in the middle, or that's where your bar really slows, incline bench will work wonders. A lot of people would say overhead press, and I don't think that that's wrong. And for some lifters that may be the case, but I feel like the upper chest contribution of the incline brings more to the bench press in general than the overhead press does. And they both work the front delts extremely well, which helps in that position. The JM press, why the JM press? Pure lockout strength. It builds the triceps in a way similar to the bench press because the movement pattern is similar in terms of what's happening with the elbows and everything, elbow positions. The JM press really, really builds up the triceps in a movement pattern quite similar to heavy benching. And again, if you really, really slow down at lockouts, that last few inches, the JM press can help you power through that. And I would say for a lot of people, I've built some pretty big benchers, either just doing one or the other of those as a heavy focus. Meaning, depending upon their levers and where they stick. If they stick in the middle, I find the incline bench just builds it up. If they stick near the lockout, the JM press will tend to fix it relatively quickly, as long as they can get it moving fast enough. And the main trick is in the context that the weight can move fast enough off the chest. And lots of pause benching does that. Just building big pecs will help you do that. Right? Building a big chest through any means necessary. But specifically the pause benching really seems to teach you to do that a lot better, right? And of course, some people would say, and I've seen people point out that, honestly, just doing lots of pause benching by itself can give a lot of people a very, very, very big bench press, and build very big pecs to go with it. So again, it does depend on the person, depends on what's going on. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys next time.